Closer to completing the lineup for the last 16 of this year's Mr. Q UK Championship. And so far, the qualifiers have taken some big scalps. 4 top former champions have bowed out, and we're poised and ready for the unpredictable drama to resume once more here on the climax of Day 3 in York.
Whatever you want. That's you.
Day 3, evening number 3 of the UK Championship, and Mark Selby chasing a hat-trick of UK titles, getting his bid underway against a man he knows extremely well from way back, Mark Joyce, the qualifier.
Thank you. The first frame.
It's Joyce to get us underway. Of course, it's the best of 11, the first to 6 to go through to the round of 16. Mark Joyce comes into this tournament ranked at 62 in the world. He has been as high as 31. It had been a largely frustrating season up until these UK Championship qualifiers. But as he referenced ahead of this match, he's been coming up against some of the best in the world, the likes of O'Sullivan and Allen and Vafai. And he comes into this evening's match, Alan, battle-hardened with 3 good wins under his belt.
He certainly does. Good evening to everyone watching. Yeah, it's an informed Mark Joyce, I think, that faces the great man tonight. And he'll have to be in form, we know that. Yes, Mark hasn't been winning as many titles in recent years as he would prefer. But he always comes into these huge events as one of the favourites. Oh, there's a good start for Mark Joyce. Mark, I think, might be playing the same shot into the back of the cluster. If he has a line to it, that is.
Yeah. Just that one this time. Just the one.
Pretty jovial mood to kick off proceedings this evening. I suspect it's going to get a lot more serious as the evening unfolds. The battle for Mark Joyce tonight is mental as much as anything, having never beaten Selby before, but as was mentioned, he seemed pretty relaxed about that statistic. Played 5, lost 5. Poor records are there to be improved. And Selby himself was playing down the significance, saying every match is different. It's been a solid season for Selby, for sure. Runner-up, of course, to Mark Williams at the British Open. Semi-finalist at the European Masters right at the start of the new season, where he lost to eventual champion Barry Hawkins as this long road goes astray. And he also made the last 4 of the Invitational Shanghai Masters. But this is a tournament which, although he has won it twice before, of course, first up in 2012 when he beat Sean Murphy, and then in 2016 when he defeated O'Sullivan. More recently, his record has been more modest here.
Foul and a miss. Mark Joyce 4.
Just the 1 quarter-final since he won it for a second time 3 years ago when he lost to Neil Robertson, who'll be in action tomorrow. So Selby will feel he's due a deep run in this event.
What? Cheers. Thanks.
Mark Joyce is a former ranking finalist at the Riga Masters back in 2019. 6 other ranking quarterfinals on his CV, including 2 at the UK Championship, as Neil mentioned to him in their pre-match interview. This is a tournament where he's had some of his best results. He won't be thrilled with that one, though. He's left the red for Selby from distance.
Yeah, going to have to raise the butt of the cue. Get low on the cue ball. Yeah, good solid pot.
Whoa.
Okay, yeah. Now choices. Does he risk? No, he's not gonna. Back up table. Got to get power into this to get above the blue line, where the blue is. Just needs to run.
"18 months ago, Selby's game was not in the best shape. He wasn't in the best shape away from the table, but he certainly put things right last season. A couple of ranking titles, the English Open, the WST Classic. And of course, a run to the World Final where it took an outstanding display from an inspired Luca Brissell to deny him a 4th, make it a 5th World Championship. But he did make history nonetheless, becoming the first player to construct a maximum in a Crucible final.
No.
This is something players often practice, actually, potting reds down this end and only working off, well, even sometimes only bulk colours. You'd be surprised, actually, how often top players do this drill. Fast running out of options as far as reds are concerned. He actually played that to land on the cushion. That is a fabulous shot, because obviously straight was dead. So early evidence that he's timing it very nicely.
$16.
Yeah, not much to offer. Just that lone red. And how does he get to it? The problem with the green, as far as cueing, he can't play it with topspin because of the packs very comfortably. Going to try, but his bridge hand or his grip hand is going to be close to the reds, playing it with topspin. Yes, it was awkward. Got a run. All in all, a tremendous shot. And he has a chance to release the black if he wants to.
90.
He's had to work extremely hard to put this so far modest break of 19 together.
$20. Red ball. Mark Selby, 20.
It was worth a round of applause. There was a lot of effort that went into that break of 20 from Selby. He looks to be cueing pretty well at the start of this match. He mentioned to Rachel that he's happy with the state of his game. Pointed out that Mark Williams had played outstandingly well to deny him in the British Open final. Barry Hawkins likewise in the semis of the European Masters. And as always, you can count on Selby to have put in the work required, arriving at the Barbican to give himself the best chance of success.
Touching ball.
Referee Rob Spencer declaring touching ball, so Selby can look to make life difficult here for Joyce.
This will be something Mark will be mindful of, Mark Joyce. Getting reds and black in open play as quickly as possible. Doesn't want to get drawn in. No one needs reminding her of the skills of a great man when things get a bit sticky and bitty out there. I did watch Mark Joyce's win against Joe Perry to book his place here, 6-4. You can see he was absolutely over the moon when he got over the winning line against Joe, and as I say, he comes here in good touch. It was good to see him. He showed out at the tail end of that match, didn't he? And you know, not punching the air, not that much, but very pleased. Hard worker, good player. Now then. Oh, terrific. Right in the heart of the pocket and was all in with it.
Excellent pot. Yes, it got a bit edgy towards the end of that match with Perry, didn't it? Joe was chasing snookers and Joyce couldn't quite deliver the killing thrust, but eventually fell over the line and was, as you say, delighted, and rightfully so. It's a big deal to get here to the Barbican, a guaranteed 10,000 ranking points in the process. And he certainly looked very relaxed ahead of this match. Of course, he knows Selby's game inside out. He also knows he's up against one of the greats of the modern game, but clearly feels that his own game is in good shape, which he proved in Leicester in qualifying.
Eight. $40. $50.
And he's also got previous when it comes to claiming big scalps in this tournament. 2017, when he made the last 8, he beat Neil Robertson in a decider. The year that Judd Trump was defending the title. In 2012, he got the better of Trump. Can he add Selby to that illustrious list?
Yeah, showing good knowledge there, just promoting the 3 reds.
21.
Good play that. Good lead. Only 5, but these 5 reds in the open would be enough. It's gone wrong. He may still have a plan. I'm not quite sure whether that's someone pushing that red to the cushion. Makes it such a tough ask from here. Yeah, a lovely
29.
recovery pot.
$35.
Now, the red that he's going to cannon here, I just wonder if he plays this with a lot of pace. It might. No, in fact, he's playing the low one, isn't he?
Mark
He
Joyce,
was
35.
up and after that one, just on the point of delivery.
One.
So Selby back at the table. 51 still remaining with his colour to come. 18 the deficit.
Five. Six.
Almost played that too well. He played for straight, you land straight, hit it that good. But 7 behind, but he's got a bit of control of the state of this first frame.
Cheers, mate.
Another excellent shot from Selby. You've got to be spot on with your accuracy with a shot like that at that pace.
Yeah, and to be down playing this so quickly, he must have the perfect angle. Get close to the red, it's not great. So a big shot in the offing.
18.
Just a point between them. This final red could decide the destination of the frame.
90.
Perfectly cued again.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Can
there's
you
been
check
some
the volume on your
clearances
earpieces,
this
please, for
season.
me, if you don't mind.
Zhang Anda recently, Jack Lazowski with another famous one. This will be up there.
24.
What a clearance this would be first up.
$26.
Needs just green, brown and blue.
$29.
Mark Joyce sitting there thinking about what might have been. He was going nicely. Undercut a red to the left corner. But this has been an excellent break from Selby.
33.
series of missable pots negotiated very impressively. And there's frame ball. So what a start. Selby looks very sharp. Even the initial break of 20, where he was using the small fry, was good looking.
44. And the first
and that clearance to the pink, numerically nothing special, but that is a very fine break of 44 to steal the opener. Mark Selby leading Mark Joyce by 1 frame to 0. Some excellent pots on his way to a 44 clearance to the pink to get the opening frame on the board, looking for his 6th victory in 6 attempts against his opponent this evening. Their most recent encounter, British Open last year, Selby was a 4-1 winner. The winner of this match to play Barry Hawkins, who had to dig deep this afternoon. Hawkins was largely out of sorts, even though he's been one of the form horses this season. European Masters champion, of course. Up against Ben Wollaston, he was 3-1 down at the interval. Took him until the last 2 frames of the match to make a 50 break. But a superb 70 from Hawkins stole the 9th frame, and he finished the job with a half century in the 10th. So he'll play the winner. Meanwhile, it looks like Joyce has left this red.
Whoa.
Selby straight back in.
Yeah, and it looks like the 2 cushion option. Want to catch a red half ball with this type of shot. Tends to be the case that you catch one full in the face, you don't get that split. Oh, he's going direct. That's unfortunate. Played it nicely, powered through them. Just didn't get a thick enough piece of the
6.
Nose of the pink. Yeah, rather unfortunate.
Mark Selby 6.
Really is the master at peeling off to bulk with a couple of reds on the right side here. You can't leave the cue ball central, and by Mark putting the cue ball wide, he's almost inviting his opponent to leave the cue ball central off this shot. See what I mean? The red on the right wing now is an option for him. He doesn't have to play it, but he sees things that other players don't. Remains to be seen whether he can make good on it with a good long red. Thunderous.
Whoa.
Brilliant. It's the smartness of the safety shot. It's a nothing shot, but the thought behind it is, well, it's advanced. never divulge the secrets of it. You can guarantee that, but they are there.
Six.
When Mark Selby played John Higgins at the World Championship back in the spring, he was 4-1 down at one stage. And from there, he won the match 12-3 against one of the greats of the game and one of the master tacticians. And Higgins afterwards looked a bit shell-shocked and said that Selby was an animal on the table. Just tied him up in knots, and to do that to Higgins takes some doing.
$12.
Only good news with this shot, you just think about the pot. The cue ball's automatically going to stay on a red, you would think. Brilliant shot.
$90.
He told Rachel he'd been practicing hard in the build-up. There's plenty of evidence of that already with the touch he's showing. The accuracy of these pots, some of them awkward.
20.
Like Higgins, he has 9
25.
of the so-called Triple Crown titles, 4 World Championships, 3 Masters, 2 UKs.
26. $31. $32. $37. $38.
Mark Joyce already looking a little concerned in his chair, and no wonder. Left a red for Selby. Into the right centre pocket at the start of this break. Is he going to get back to the table in the second frame?
43. $44. $48. $49.
Not absolutely perfect to go topping this cue ball through, because it would be going sort of across the pink spot playing that shot, so he might just raise the button, hold the cue ball. Yeah, feels he can go across table, but they're going close to the pink spot. It could go wrong, and it has. Still on one.
54.
Thankfully, it's frame ball.
Ominously good from Mark Selby. From Mark Joyce's viewpoint, he spent most of this match in his chair. Had the chance in the opening frame, missed the red, but since then he's been warming his seat. Selby
58.
looking extremely good.
$59.
Tremendous cueing from distance.
I know the frame's long gone, but that black he played there, anything straight out for
66.
res, I think he's the best in the game at that shot. Gets so much work on the cue ball.
67. $74. 75. Yeah. 82. Cheers, Mark. Thank you. Mark Selby.
It's only the second ball
82.
he's missed this evening, and it wasn't relevant because the frame was long one. Mark Selby looking pin sharp, a break of 82 to double his lead. Mark Joyce in early trouble. He trails 2-0. Got pretty close to the red. It was very difficult, but it's a chance for Mark Joyce.
One. Six. Seven.
And this is the absolute optimum angle you want to attack the reds. It's quite an enjoyable shot to play this one as well. Get the pot, you should get the pack. Good hit, good contact, great result.
Could not have played that any better.
11.
And looked to be cueing well himself in the opening frame before missing a red corner. Maybe thought he'd get another chance thereafter, but Selby put superb 44 break to the pink. Sat out the second, but this is a good chance. That cheer is for Jack Lazowski, who's just potted the re-spotted black to double his lead over Jamie Jones. I've got a feeling it might have been a fluke. Looked as though he held his hand up as it went in. Either way, he's 2-0 to the good. It was actually an attempted double into the middle pocket and ended up going into the corner, so Lazowski will take it for sure. Bit of a hammer blow for Jones. You can watch it on Discovery Plus.
Mark Joyce 12.
Meanwhile, Mark Joyce disappointed to run out of position early in that particular visit to the table, which looked promising.
The return to balk isn't guaranteed with a safety shot, so it's all out for the pot. Deep screw with the cue ball. Oh my goodness. Well, we knew he was cueing well.
Anytime there's that sort of distance between cue and object ball and the cue ball zings back to balk, you know it's been struck in very pure fashion. Too well, as it turned out for Selby, tight to the balk rail, having potted it.
Yellow ball. Mark Selby 1.
Considering the plant, it may seem ambitious, but he's got plans of the cue ball getting back to balk. Well played.
What?
Good shot. Well worked out. So, can he get nice and tight and behind the only baulk colour on offer?
Joyce 1.
Red on the left side cushion isn't an option, not dead weight. Of course, you're dealing here with a master of escapology. He always seems to find that, well, the smart shot, the shot that offers him the best chance of success. So it's the red on this end cushion. Well done. That's a fabulous shot. I mean, not just the escape to baulk, the fact that he's got it within a couple of inches of the baulk cushion returns the pressure, can Mark come up with the same, not as difficult as the previous one, but the consequences of not getting it right are severe. Yeah, fortunately has access to the cross stubble safety shot. Such an important passage of play, this one, the way the reds are. Mark Joyce was to get his chance, and he'd fancy obviously putting this frame away. It's one that he doesn't have to win, but 3-0 behind against this fella in the form that he appears to be in. Be a big ask. Here we go again then, deep screw, red, just off straight. Can't pot this one, can he? Yeah. That's astonishing.
Selby eager to avoid last season's fate in this event when he lost out to Hossein Vafai in the opening round, who also beat him at the Masters, although Selby did avenge that loss at the Shanghai Masters earlier this season in a decider. Joyce wearing an expression there as if to say too good. And it was.
Five. Yeah, sure.
A bit too much of a stretch, so Selby has asked referee Rob Spencer for the extended rest.
Yeah. Cheers, man. Thanks. Six.
Not ideal on the blue, but the way he's been podding this evening, he'll fancy regaining prime position.
Well, I know it's only been 2.5 frames, but
11.
he's playing as well as I've seen him in a long time. Just the quality. I mean, the two long reds have been unbelievably good. But taking those aside, his cue ball's been fantastic.
Well,
here's another one, just to get above the blue. I mean, absolutely pristine. It's just made it, but it's absolutely perfect. Everything he's doing is working beautifully. Scary to think he used to play like this almost all the time.
World number one for 4 straight years.
$70. 80.
The 2 ranking titles he collected last season took his overall tally to 22, which puts him 8th on the all-time list, one behind Neil Robertson, who's in action tomorrow.
$25. 26.
Yeah, just thinking back to those glory years and the 9 Triple Crown titles that he has, Mark Selby. Forgetting the first one and the last one, he won 7 of 23. That's some strike rate. That's almost 1 in 3 over a period of 6 or 7 years. He's only won 1 of the last 18 of these Triple Crown events.
33.
You know, that's evidence enough that he perhaps is not the player he used to be. He's not alone in that. You know, a lot of the top
34.
players of the game today are, I wouldn't go as far as to say on the wane, nothing like that, but it shows when he's in form. I mean, he looks almost unplayable tonight so far.
$41.
He just, when he's playing like this, you can't seem to lay a glove on him.
42.
He's got great defence, great tactics. And he packs a heavy punch himself.
$47.
Yes, his tactical prowess, his rock-solid safety game, and his resilience tends to overshadow the fact that he's made 786 career centuries.
48.
And Mark Joyce at the moment out of ideas. It was a great red from Selby again to get in. It's not as though Joyce has played poorly. He missed a red in the first frame. Selby constructed that superb 44 break
55.
to the pink. Left a red for Selby at the start of the second. That was the end of that one.
56.
And this frame has gone south for the underdog as well. Selby at the moment close to immaculate.
Exhibition shot time is twice across. Yeah, right in the heart of the pocket.
$61. Thanks, mate.
Again,
Mark Selby.
the miss comes when it's academic. Mark Selby isn't missing in live play. He looks quite superb in amongst the balls, and his long game is just as good. It's a formidable package, and it's put him 3-0 up on Mark Joyce. Back at the table, chasing a record-breaking 8th UK title. How do you improve upon perfection? It's been close to that so far for Selby as he breaks off in frame 4, looking for a clean sweep before the interval. Selby monopolising the table since that miss from Joyce in the first frame. It's been all Selby, really. What a pot that is.
Yeah, seeing it like a beach ball tonight. Again, the work on the cue ball was fantastic. I mean, look at this for precision. He's played on the red. He needn't have played on it, but the one near the black spot deliberately played on it.
$6. $30. 14. $21. Yeah, sure.
Can be a cruel game sometimes. You can be glued to your chair through no fault of your own when your opponent is playing as brilliantly as Selby is right now. Helpless to do anything about it. Another spectacular long-range red to get in from Selby.
22.
Yeah, it's a lonely chair, that. Sometimes you don't know whether to watch or look away. The trouble is watching it, you kind of get mesmerised by it, but if you look away and try to ignore it, you're not paying attention to what you're out there to be
29.
hoping to be involved in. It's very difficult.
A kind of torture, you might say.
Yeah.
30.
You know, you do that as a player. Every player would recognise that. When you're playing against one of the best of all time and they're in this sort of form, what do you do? Do you watch or not? Because you can, you know, it's monotonous. You just look, he looks like he's going to win the frame, like just below them. Just, you know, everything he looks at, it's just perfection tonight. In control, not only of the cue ball, when they're in this sort of form, the great players, it feels like they're in control of the reds, everything. It's like they can decide whatever they want to do, they can do it.
I recall Ronnie O'Sullivan during one of his 7 World Championship triumphs talking about making the balls talk when you're in the zone and everything is going to plan, and that's what Selby's been doing this evening. It's a complete mastery of the table so far.
45. $46.
I know there's still a bit to go in this frame. I've been doing some calculations recently and looking at the history of the Masters and best of 11s. I know this isn't the Masters, but in 63 occasions in the history of the Masters, it's been 4-0 at the interval, 63 times, and the person trailing has only won twice. That's the task that looks like is going to be in front of Mark Joyce in a few shots' time.
54.
And when you consider Joyce has never beaten Selby in 5 previous attempts, everything's looking a little bleak at the moment for the qualifier, but you can't take it away from Selby. He has been sublime. And he could probably do without the interval that's coming up shortly. He's in perfect flow. That's the one crumb of comfort, really, for Joyce, that he's going to get 15 to 20 minutes off from this barrage from the former world number 1.
$60.
So this is the last hope for Mark Joyce that this can go wrong. Just needing a red in addition. So he's going deep to get the right hand wing ball. Anything around full. Well, that's perfect. Yeah, beautifully played.
67.
It's almost like he's not even playing the scoreboard. He's just out saying, all right, okay, I want to mop them all up regardless of the score, whatever I need. Some performance.
Mark Selby has had so many career highlights, but I doubt there's been a mini session of 4 frames where he's played much better than this. And right on cue, he misses one.
75.
The frame is 1 barring snookers, 2 of them required to tie the frame as things stand for Mark Joyce. So a glimmer of hope. Maybe just a slight lapse in concentration from Selby with the job seemingly done in this 4th frame.
One. Six.
69 now the difference with only 59 left, so the task has just become a bit harder. 3 snookers now required.
Seven.
His arm is stone cold, with good reason. It's understandable, isn't it? Completely frozen out of this match.
$13. Mark Joyce 13. Frame conceded. Frame Mark
That's
Selby.
the end of the frame, and it's a near flawless performance so far this evening for a man chasing a hat-trick of UK titles. Mark Selby has looked quite outstanding in all departments. It's all way too much at the moment for the qualifier Mark Joyce, who has the proverbial mountain to climb when they come back after the mid-session interval. Selby looking supreme. He leads by 4 frames.
Mark Joyce to break.
So Mark Joyce with it all to do, to put it mildly. 4-0 behind, and he's not played particularly poorly. He's not been allowed to play. Mark Selby has been that good. He's monopolised the table since Joyce missed a red in the opening frame. An early indicator of how well Selby was queuing was the 44 clearance to the pink to win that frame, which involved a number of missable pots which went right in the heart of the pocket. And he's not looked back since then. 82, 61 and 75. All that's been missing is a century, but for sheer skill and for an all-round performance, it doesn't get much better than this so far from Selby. The only question was, would the mid-session interval interrupt his flow? Well, there's your answer. Although this time, that little kiss off the brown, not as kind as it might have been. So just the snooker.
Mark Selby won.
He has a pot success of 95%. He's missed 5 balls, but a few of those have been academic when the frame was already won. Mark Joyce must feel, Alan, as though he's been one of the many spectators here in the York Barbican this evening. He's not had much of a look in.
No, he certainly hasn't. And the team talk, if he's got a friend or whoever with him, would have been quite difficult in the mid-session, wouldn't it? I mean, yeah, you're right. He hasn't done an awful lot wrong. His opponent, the great man, has been sensational. And another terrific pot to get the second half of the match underway, and no end of trouble again here. He can't lay in the reds. What does he do here? I mean, honestly, looking at it, it's also not easy to get to the red that's above the black, and even that's dangerous.
3 really good wins in qualifying for Joyce. Julian Boyko in a decider. Jargadong 6-2, where he won 5 frames in a row, and then that victory over Joe Perry by 6 frames to 4. High break of just 35. That came in the opening frame before he missed the red. Since then, he scored just 26 points in 3 frames.
Yeah, precious little he could do there. Easy to hit a red, but he was always going to trust to luck. And he hasn't had an awful lot of it, so this isn't a certain red, this, but if it goes in, it should be another decent scoring chance.
1.
His positional shot to the red on the left is that good that he can pretty much pick his spot for a low black and just
8.
nestle that red away from the black spot. Might not have to if the red goes to the left corner. Let's see. It clearly does.
9. $16. $17. $24. $25.
This year's UK Championship, after 2.5 days here at the Barbican, has been punctuated by tight matches. We've had 4 final frame deciders. We've had 4 matches won 6-4, a 6-3. The only match to buck the trend in terms of a one-sided affair this afternoon, with Judd Trump dispatching Pang Jung-ju
31.
for the loss of only 1 frame, even though he felt below par physically. But the way Mark Selby's going this evening, Mark Joyce must be wondering if he's going to register any frames at all.
Cheers. 32.
Yeah, the plant is on to left middle. If at any stage he needs it, that'll be, you would think it's a last resort play. But he'll know about it. It can be manipulated. It's one of those offset ones, so
39.
he has options.
But
He's clearly looking at going into the reds. Got to get a thick piece of them. Not thick enough, I'm afraid, so end of break.
47.
I was quite surprised he didn't pay more attention to the offset plant to left middle. He didn't have a good old look at it. Doesn't miss much out there, but it was on. Eyeballing in behind the brown. And he usually finds a spot, doesn't he? Here it is again.
Mark Selby, 47.
It's one of the features of Mark Selby's success down the years that when things have gone awry positionally and he's had to play safe, he's always invested in that safety shot and ensured it's as good as it can possibly be. He doesn't allow the fact that he may feel a little frustrated that he couldn't continue the break to impact his next shot. He's turning the screw. Completely suffocating Mark Joyce at the moment.
Yes, and once again here, he almost has no shot. That plant might still be on to left middle. So, quite honestly, I don't know what he does here, apart from the only thing is a 2-cushion escape with the glance back to baulk. Good hit. Now Mark Selby will have a look at the possible plant. He's having a look at it. As I say, it's an offsetter. If it's not dead set, he can manipulate it. Last time round, yeah, there it is. It's just on the far jaw. So if he actually hit this dead straight, full in the nose, I think he would make it. Hit the red dead centre. I think it's a good thing, this one. And where the lay of the reds here, it's virtually frame ball because he's going to be perfect. No problem.
One.
A little silly to say it's virtually frame ball. He still needs another, whatever, 3 red, black,
8.
something like that. But If you've been with us, which I'm sure you were, the first 4 frames, you can understand the thinking.
9.
Any notion that that mid-session break might have interrupted Mark Selby's rhythm has been well and truly dispelled. Got him with another superb long red at the start of this frame. Yes, he lost position, but he played a telling safety. And is now looking to make the most of the opportunity that that created and make it 5-0.
$60. 70.
67 left, frame ball.
$24. 25.
His pot success has now climbed to 96%, and it's actually better than that, really, in terms of live play. And that's all that counts.
Yeah, 32.
Joyce has done well to have 30% of the table. It doesn't feel as though he's been that involved since frame 1.
33.
He couldn't have imagined when he missed the red to the left corner that he'd be shut out so completely thereafter.
$40.
Not quite enough for a century, but Selby will be very happy to keep.
$60. 62. 65.
Mark Joyce, arms crossed, looking, as he's done throughout the evening, a little perplexed, a little shell-shocked. He knew he was in
69.
for a tough night. He'd never beaten Selby in 5 previous attempts, but even he must be taken a little back by the quality of this performance from Selby.
74. Okay. 80.
He's got that cue ball on a piece of string, and it's pretty short. The crowd are willing it in.
Mark Selby, 80.
Wasn't far away. This is wonderful stuff from Mark Selby. He can't have played too much better than this too often. Even Mark Joyce can raise a little wry smile as he falls 5-0 behind. Selby already 1 away from victory. Mark Selby has produced the complete performance this evening. It's just a question now of applying the finishing touches. 5-0 up. And for Mark Joyce, well, at the moment, playing for pride. hoping to avoid the ignominy of a whitewash. But in truth, there's been very little he could do this evening. Yeah, he's made 1 or 2 mistakes, but they have been brutally punished.
It's all right, it's okay.
Can't get in the brown and behind the brown again, can he? Not this time. Yeah, very good for Mark Joyce, and this is laced with trouble, this escape. As far as resting on the pack of reds goes, almost not impossible, but highly likely that if you slip off them at all, you're going to leave one.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm not interested. 2 cushions. Glancing escape.
Much thicker than Selby wanted, which is why the cue ball has only just passed the blue spot. So can Mark Joyce, who must be feeling very rusty out there, capitalise from his excellent safety.
Whoa.
I think that's as much to do with
Mark Joyce 1.
The very small amount of table time and potting opportunities that Mark Joyce has had.
One. Brown ball. Mark Selby 1.
Yeah, you've got to be careful with a one cushion escape. Cushions are playing quite slidey, as we call it, so don't want to miss them low. Yeah, well played.
Cheers, Mark. Thank you.
Got to find similar cover here. With near the left corner. Good shot. Oh, here's a mistake. Needs some help. Yeah, so he has it just about the right middle. The red will go, but he doesn't have all the pockets, so the alternative. If this goes in, you'd expect to be on a colour. A chance to get off and running again.
8 out of 10 from long range for Selby tonight. 9 out of 11.
One. Eight. Nine. 16.
Yeah, this is fine, just topping it through, no problem. Brush off both reds.
17.
Lost it a fraction. And that will irritate him slightly, because the path of the cue ball with a natural pot here is not going to be perfect. So he's digging down, cannon on the 2 by the right, just right of picture there. Just to try and leave the cue ball in the middle of the table. Yeah, on the nose of that red. Perfectly played. He's got the red to far left corner, so the other good news is
24.
doesn't have a lot to do with the cue ball and potting it. He's been hitting this type of shot actually all night so sweetly. He's able to not hit it hard. He almost floats this. Watch the strike here, quiet strike. See that? How quiet it was on delivery. It's beautifully struck.
Like a silent assassin. And he has been deadly tonight.
It's an example, that, of something that I think I've seen on social media this week. One of the spectators here came to watch this UK Championship, and they were amazed at how softly these guys hit the ball. It's something I remember as I went to see Jimmy White play Alex Higgins in Glasgow in, I think, 1985 or 6. And I couldn't believe how softly they hit the ball compared to what we did in the club. So many quiet little shots. It goes wrong. Still on the black though. And he will play it. It's not been like him tonight. I have to go the scenic route and recycle it a few times. Can he do it again? Not this time.
Mark Selby, 29.
Yeah, he's annoyed. It's been such a good performance that he now expects everything to find the pocket.
One.
So, 28-point deficit for Mark Joyce to try and erode.
Three.
Doesn't look like there's much available there, though.
Mark
Could
Joyce.
have done without the full ball cannon on the green as well. The last thing he needs right now is Selby with his hand on the table.
One.
It's not just that these pots are going in, it's the way they're going in. They're whacking the back of the leather. The jaws not troubled.
Yes, and this blue, you would think would be the last hope for Mark Joyce. If it goes in, expect him to be on one. Spoiled this time.
6.
But for the red over the left middle as a saver. So, yeah, it's no problem. I thought it was a little sharp, but no problem.
7.
And just to put the final pieces of a little masterpiece of a match tonight by Mark Selby.
Last year's UK Championship ended in disappointment for Mark Selby with the first round exit at the hands of Hossein Vafai. He's shown up here at the Barbican this year, seemingly on a mission.
$30.
Outstanding stats in all departments.
$19. 20.
46 the lead, only 51 there. So this pink is match ball. A match that's only been going an hour and 42.
$26. 27.
Champion in 2012, champion in 2016. Since then, just one quarter-final at the UK for Mark Selby. But if he keeps playing like this, he will take some stopping. And again, the error is academic. The match long since won. Simply sublime. Mark Selby, what a performance. One of the most complete of his career. Mark Joyce never had a prayer. Selby was just way too good in all respects. He will be delighted with the display and a place in the round of 16 here at the York Barbican, and a showdown with Barry Hawkins. Mark Selby comes through with something to spare in fine style. By whitewash, he defeats Mark Joyce by 6 frames to 0.